Department has claimed that the deal is meant to promote peace in the region. As to what those consequences are, China did not elaborate. And as of right now, the United States is moving forward with their sale to Taiwan. So we shall definitely wait to see what happens. And as always, I will continue to keep you updated. But I would like to move on and talk about the United States next. It is being reported that apparently the U.S. has tested a cruise missile that was previously banned by the INF Treaty. The U.S. military has tested a ground-launched cruise missile with a range of over 500 kilometers. Such weapons were banned under the INF Treaty. The flight test of a conventionally configured ground-launched cruise missile was conducted on August 18th in San Nicolas Island, California. After its successful launch, the missile struck its target more than 310 miles away. It goes on further to report that American officials have stressed that they do not plan on building a nuclear ground-based cruise missile capability, but the Secretary of Defense, Mark Esper, had said his department will fully pursue the development of these ground-launched conventional missiles as a prudent response to Russia's actions and also part of the joint forces' broader portfolio of conventional strike options. In the meantime, The Sun is reporting that the United States is building a robot battleship, and it will be the largest robot warship to patrol the most dangerous seas. The huge ships, referred to as large unmanned service vehicle, would function as scouts for the main battle fleet, carrying radar and sonar as well as anti-air and cruise missiles. Proponents of the ship see the role of the vessels as carrying out 3D work, dirty and dangerous. A draft request for the proposal stated that the LUSV will be a high-endurance, reconfigurable ship able to accommodate various payloads for unmanned missions to augment the nation's manned surface force. And with a large payload capacity, the LUSV will be designed to conduct a variety of warfare operations independently or in conjunction with manned surface combatants. The LUSV will be capable of semi-autonomous or fully autonomous operation, which operates in the loop, controlling remotely or on the loop. The U.S. Navy hopes to build 2 ships a year. Over the next 5 years, each ship would be about 200 to 300 feet in length, with a displacement of about 2,000 tons. The plan is to have the ships as generally unarmed, with the ability to carry missiles if needed. The Pentagon's Strategic Capabilities Office originally spearheaded the LUSV under a program called Overlord, which initially tried to convert a fast commercial vessel into an unmanned ship capable of traveling for thousands of miles and weeks. The United States is also acquiring a fleet of unmanned submarines. Finally, it reports that Boeing was paid $35.4 million by the U.S. Navy in February this year for 4 Orca extra-large unmanned undersea vehicles. So definitely some very interesting news there concerning the United States military developments. And I will definitely continue to follow these reports and bring you updates. But I would like to move on and talk about the United States and Russia. As of right now, we are nowhere near a nuclear confrontation, thank goodness. But what were to happen if the United States or Russia or another nuclear power were to fire one of their nuclear missiles? What would that do to our planet? Well, scientists are warning that if that were to occur, a nuclear war would plunge Earth into a 10-year winter, causing plummeting global temperatures and constant darkness. Were the United States and Russia to engage in a full-out atomic warfare, the consequences would plunge the Earth into a 10-year nuclear winter. Fires ignited by nuclear detonations would likely inject around 147 million tons of soot into the air, and winds in the stratosphere would cause these soot aerosols to encircle the entire globe within weeks, plunging the Earth into an enduring nuclear winter. It would also blot out the light of the sun and the clouds would cause average surface temperatures to drop by almost 16.2 Fahrenheit. The experts predict that it would take around 7 years for the curtain of soup to begin to visibly clear, and 3 more for light to return to normal levels. And in addition to that, the northern polar vortex, the fast-flowing stream of air that circles the North Pole, would be strengthened in the first year after the war, generating above normal but below freezing temperatures in the Arctic. Researchers concluded that a full-scale nuclear attack would be suicidal for the country that decides to carry out such an attack. The use of nuclear weapons in this manner by the United States and Russia would have disastrous consequences globally. Scientists are warning that political decision makers have a full understanding of the climate consequences of nuclear war to inform their actions. Ultimately, the reduction of nuclear arsenals and the eventual disarmament of all nuclear-capable parties is needed. Now, hopefully, a nuclear war will never happen. But there could be no denying that there is definitely an arms race taking place. In fact, many nations throughout the world are gaining more and more nuclear capabilities. Now, we already know about the United States and Russia. In fact, President Trump's administration has proposed an additional $500 billion in spending, including $17 billion for low-yield tactical nuclear weapons that could be used on conventional battlefields. And then, of course, we have China. And like the U.S., China, while historically pledged to a no first use, they still want their potential enemies to believe it may actually use technical nukes. And then, of course, we all know about North Korea, India, and Pakistan. Israel, in the meantime, doesn't really talk about their nukes, but we know that they have them. And we also have Saudi Arabia that's looking to have their own nuke. And of course, there is France and the UK. And last but not least, we already know about Iran's ambitions. So it's only about 9 or 10 nations that actually have nuclear weapons. But it only takes one to cause a disaster and loss of life. So hopefully these leaders will use wisdom and common sense and never resort to using their nuclear weapon. We can only hope. And as always, I will continue to keep you updated. But I'd love to hear from all of you. So please do leave your comments in the comment section.